Hi, everybody. Welcome to Smiling with Erin D. I'm Erin D, and we're back for another episode of Ghost. But this week, we're going to actually add in NCIS's original. I really love this show, and it's super fun to watch, especially if you're an original NCIS fan. But before we get started, let's do our intro. Maybe let's do our intro. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I see some friendly faces in the chat. Please, everybody, go subscribe to my bestie, Krista Marie. She's in our chat right there, and her channel is also in our chat. That would be Reality Tea with Krista Marie. She does a lot of Bravo shows. She's really fun. She does do some TLC shows, Sister Wives, with Q from Q and DJ's channel. Please subscribe to them. Every Monday, they go live with Sister Wives recaps from the night before, and they're really fun to watch. So go check out my girls. They're awesome. Also, remember to subscribe to the Juice Radio and Talk Show. They do have Bible study tonight at 7:30 with Pastor Lorenzo and Regina. Here on Smiling with Erin D, we like to support each other and spread good vibes and tell you about good channels. So if you got a good channel to tell us about, put it in the chat so I can check it out, okay? Krista Marie is saying hi to everybody, and I was here, but it got kicked me out. But I'm here, and I love you. I love you, Krista Marie. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see your recap of, I believe you do Potomac tomorrow. She does so many housewives, it's hard to keep track of, but she does, I believe, have Potomac tomorrow on her show. So go over and click the bell on her channel so you get notified every time Krista Marie goes live, because she goes live a lot. And I love it. So I'm trying to give a few minutes for everybody to come on in the room. While we're waiting, though, we are going to expand on the Paramount Plus shows, probably more in December. As I put on the community tab, if you guys have checked it out, we will be having November be a little slow on this channel as we make some upgrades to the channel and have some changes happening. You'll see the changes in December, so be patient with us, but stay tuned. And remember, like, subscribe, and share the channel, and just share the love. Oh, Krista Marie is giving an update on her channel, Potomac, today after you're live, and Reality News. She does so much fun over there. Go check her out. And then Friday, she also goes live. She goes live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday usually. But catch your bell notifications on, because if there's news on Bravo or Reality, she pops up there. So you don't want to miss her channel. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me over here on Smile with Erin D. Let's get started with Ghost before we do NCIS. So this week on Ghost, I was really excited to meet Sam's father. Finally. I mean, we met the mother, and she was a character and a half, really. But the father seems more mellow, down-to-earth kind of guy, which I was really interested to meet him. And he's not a ghost, so that's kind of a plus. She has one that's living. But he brought his girlfriend. I thought that was kind of weird, because Sam said she hadn't seen him in a while, and he's showing up with his girlfriend. But I guess if they don't see each other very often, he's got to take advantage and introduce her to someone who's special in his life. But it seemed a little weird to me. But it's okay. Sam's dad seems really nice. But we did get to know a lot about their past relationships. Apparently, he didn't really show up for Sam while she was growing up. And Sam tries to be optimistic, her normal optimistic about it, but you can see the pain there. The girlfriend seems perfectly nice. A little strange, as I'll get into in the episode. We get to see what Patience ghost power is in this episode. And man, is it creepy. Very, very creepy. So Patience ghost power is actually having the walls bleed. and apparently she can even spell out words with it. I would not want to wake up to a room with blood coming down to it with words, but patients can do that. So it definitely scares Sam, and well, actually, it scares all the ghosts because it's something. They try to keep patients happy because they don't want her to have the blood coming from the walls while Sam's father is visiting. And plus, you don't want blood coming from your walls in just general, it's bad. So, patient doesn't want Sam and his wife to share a room, like at all. In her time frame, that was really sinful. And so she's really against it. So Sam has to go to her father and awkwardly tell her father to not share a bedroom with his girlfriend. And it's an awkward conversation, but you can see how much Sam's father really loves her because he agrees to it, even though it seems weird. However, agreeing to it and actually following through do not seem like the same thing to Sam's father. So, in the middle of the night, he walks into his girlfriend's room, gets in bed, and Patience is there watching. And so on the wall, in the morning, with blood, she has written out the word sin. And she even dripped the blood on the froggy slippers. Now that was really sad to me. Everybody's really creeped out, and Sam's dad, of course, blames Sam and thinks Sam did this because Sam did, when she was a child, cut the hair of one of her dad's girlfriends. Ooh, that's not looking good, Sam. So he, of course, blames his daughter. I mean, he doesn't believe in ghosts, so why wouldn't he think it's Sam? So Sam takes the blame for it and says she's just mad. And Sam's dad starts to pack up to leave. And while he's packing up, though, and the ghosts are, of course, eavesdropping, he admits why he wasn't there for Sam. Apparently, her mother threatened that if he showed up to things, that he would have Sam be embarrassed. She was going to make a scene. Sam's mother, that is. So that's terrible. And we met Sam's mother, so I completely believe this story. Hi, Mimir. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi. I completely believe that Sam's mom would do this. And in the kitchen, the ghosts go to tell Sam, who is really sad that her father is leaving, but really not sure what to do about it. And when the ghosts tell her that what her mother had really done to her father, she still thinks he had a choice, but then goes, well, if it was me, would I have made the same choice? And she seems to have a lot of. Yes, I'm so sorry for the difficulty with the Surface Pro today. It is dying, but we are working on a replacement. By the end of November, we will have changed this out. I do apologize for any technical difficulties in this episode. I do apologize. In the end, Sam goes to her father and says, hey, Dad, I'm really sorry. I did do it. My bad. And Sam's father says, oh, I'm sorry for everything I did in the past. And they make up and forgive each other. No, the show is not scary, Mimir. I'm trying to put your comment up. Is this show scary? No, it's a comedy and it's really funny. I know, with the name Ghost, I was a little hesitant too. But my friend Jennifer got me into this show, and now I'm getting you all into this show. At least I hope I am. Hi, Bianca. Thanks for coming. I am sorry about all the technical difficulty, guys. I am working on getting a replacement for my computer. By the end of November, this should be replaced and no more technical difficulties. So, everybody's saying hi to each other in chat. Thank you for being such a friendly group. So, on the other hand, in the episode, Trevor, our ghost without pants, suggests to Flower and Thor, who are a couple that have to break up with the throuple, Nancy, the ghost basement, and Isaac, who has dumped Nigel at the altar, but Nigel's still living in their room, that they help each other out. like Mama throwing Mama from the train, the 80s movie, that they should just do it for each other. Thor and Flower will tell Nigel he has to leave the house, and Isaac will go to the basement and dump Nancy for them. This is a terrible idea, but they all agree to it, and Trevor is still trying to be called T Money. It's just not happening, Trevor. I'm sorry. Nobody's going with it. So Thor and Flower, they go to dump Nigel and tell Nigel he's got to leave the house. So they go in and they say, Nigel, we got to talk to you about living here. And Nigel goes, I know, nobody likes me living here. But they feel so terrible because they're both sympathetic. They go, no, we just came to tell you we love you being here. They did a terrible job dumping him. And then we see Isaac go to the basement, and he actually does do it. He dumps Nancy for Thor and Flower. And of course, Nancy does not take it well. And she sort of beats up Isaac. And Isaac goes, don't beat up the messenger. And she goes, well, that's where the saying came from. Of course you're getting beat up. So in the end, they go to tell each other what happened. And Isaac is the only one who kept his half of the deal. So he's got to talk to Nigel about Nigel leaving the house. So he goes to do it. And wouldn't you know, in just that moment, he becomes the better person he wanted to be. Well, kind of. He goes to dump Nigel and tell him he's got to go back to the shed. And as he's saying it, Nigel goes, yeah, I know. I'm just sad to leave all my friends here. And he goes, no, you can stay. I'm the one who broke us up. I'll go to the shed. So he goes to the shed, but not before gloating that he's a better person now. And he says it even to Nigel, who he had dumped at the altar just a week ago. He dumps him at the altar and then tells him he's a better person. This cannot get worse for Nigel. He gets dumped, and his man thinks he's a better person for it. No. Isaac goes around saying he's become a better person, that he planned to become a better person, and he just annoys everyone, including his new roommates at the shed, who end up begging Nigel to come back, and he does, and Isaac's got to stay in the house. So the better person thing didn't last very long, if it even really happened at all. So that was our episode of Ghost this week. It was a little bit of a filler episode, but still had some really cute, memorable moments. Now let's get into it with NCIS Original. I loved Mark Harmon on the original NCIS as Leroy Gibbs, and he was my favorite character for the 19 seasons he was on the show. So I was really upset, and I think everybody was when he left the show, but the man's got to rest. I mean, he did do it for 19 years, and he wasn't exactly a spring chicken when it started. So I'm really happy to have Mark Harmon back, even if it is just a voiceover. It's excellent. The character who plays Gibbs in the new series, the younger version of Gibbs, where we get to find out all the stories we kind of heard bits and pieces about on NCIS, we really get to get into it deeply on the NCIS Original or Origins. I keep saying original, it's Origins. And we get to see Gibbs right after he loses his wife, Kelly. His wife and daughter. Kelly was his daughter. And it's really sad, but it's also makes so much more sense when you're watching the episodes from the first couple seasons of the show. And the guy who's playing Gibbs does an amazing job of staying true to the character that we loved on NCIS. I love the voiceover. I love that we're getting to hear Mark Harmon. I think the guy who plays Franks does a really good job too. I have so many questions because Franks, the entire time we knew him, didn't have really a steady girl. And in this show, he has a living girlfriend. I want to know what happens to her. I have so many more questions since their origin started, but I know they're going to get into it. This last week's episode was about a child, which was, of course, very hard for Gibbs, who has just lost his daughter. This show is based in the early 90s, right after his wife and child were killed. So he is on a case because he's probie for the NCIS, and they go to a woman's house, and she had been taking care of her boyfriend's child who is deployed. And when you know it, they can't find the kid. The woman, however, is deceased and laying on the ground. As they're looking around her for clues, they find a little handprint in blood, so they know the little girl was there. First, running up to a house is a witness, a neighbor who lives 2 houses down, saying he saw the little girl in the back of a car and he should have chased it, but he didn't realize right away who it was. And this leads them to think that she's been kidnapped. But Gibbs is on the case, and Gibbs' gut is not profound as we see it on NCIS. He's just learning to trust his instincts, but you can see a little bit of doubt, which I love watching the Gibbs look because he does it so well. And the whole town comes to the NCIS offices to volunteer help because they want to find this little girl who's lost, who's been kidnapped, as they all believe. And while they're there, one of the guys, the neighbor who had said he saw him in the car, starts talking to another gentleman who wants to help. While Franks is in the background, he hears the guy and he's telling a completely different story than he had originally told them at the house. So Franks shoves him in the bathroom, as Franks would do, and gets the real story. And this guy never even saw the little girl in the back of the car. He just wanted to be a part of the story. So Franks takes his agents back to the house to start from square one. They go out to the woods with the dog, the NCIS dog, and they're chasing the smell of the little girl. And sadly, the dog comes across the smell, but it's in the ground. So they want Gibbs to stand back because he just lost his daughter and they don't want to upset him. So as they're digging up the dirt, Gibbs is looking around because he's got the Gibbs gut still. And happily, they only found her backpack in the ground. And Gibbs is following his gut, and he follows it right to a tree where he finds the little girl, alive and perfectly alive and safe. So they bring her back to the NCIS offices. Nobody is really getting through to the little girl, none of the agents, until the office manager, who Frank sort of makes go up there, she gets into it, and the little girl trusts her. Still not saying anything about the man who killed the girlfriend. But at least she's talking now, which is more than anybody else has gotten. But Gibbs has had a child recently, so he can connect with this little girl, but he doesn't trust himself yet, or at least Franks doesn't trust him. So Franks doesn't let him, but Gibbs really wants to. So later, the secretary or the office manager takes the little girl back to her house for the night because she needs a bed and some real food. While there, Gibbs shows up. He just wants to give the little girl a toy that used to be his daughter Kelly's toy because she needs something to play with. And Gibbs said Kelly's not using it anymore. I love how he still has his big heart, even in the toughest moments. The rest of the investigators are chasing down a lead, and they find out who was trying to hurt the little girl, because I did skip a part. I do apologize. Gibbs did get a chance to talk to the little girl, and she opened up to Gibbs because Gibbs is a parent and he knew how to talk to her. Actually, he sang, and when it would get to a spot that it was a picture close to the picture of the man, she would stop singing. He got closer and closer by the singing song. He did a great job. So Gibbs brings the toy to the house. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I'm going to try and wrap this up because my computer looks like it's dying. But technical difficulties. But the little girl in the end, the man who tried to kill her, comes back to finish the job, and Gibbs saves her. And it's a growing moment for Gibbs. Hi everybody, sorry I came back on my tablet because my Surface Pro just died. So I'm really sorry. I hope everybody can see me and hear me. Please put a thumbs up if you can. I do apologize. It's the first time I've done it on my Apple tablet. So not getting any thumbs up. Not sure if you guys can hear me. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up in the chat. So I'm just going to try and wrap this up. Gibbs does find the guy who's trying to kill a little girl, comes to the house where she is staying, and thank you for all the thumbs up. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Comes to the house to finish the job because the little girl found her, and when you know it, Gibbs is already there, and Gibbs is able to rescue the little girl. Unfortunately, the man passes away. But it's a growing moment for Gibbs. He knows he can do the job. Back at headquarters afterwards, the little girl's dad has come back from deployment, and she's thrilled to see him. We see that beautiful moment. Also, Frank talks to Gibbs that the man he has now killed in self defense, his father is there, and they have to tell the father. But Frank says he's going to do it. Gibbs like, no, this is the job. You can't bench me, and you can't give me little jobs to have me go off course. You have to let me do the job if I'm here to do the job. So Frank goes up to get the last bit of information he needs, and then Gibbs comes in to tell the father what happened to his son. I really love the show. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know in the chats. I am going to end the live now. Give me a month and I will have a better system going with you guys. November is going to be a little difficult. We're going to have shorter videos, not too many going up in the month of November, but in December we'll be back stronger and better than ever. Thank you so much for joining me. One last announcement to let you guys know. In December, I will be doing collaborations with Q from Q and DJ's channel. She's going to do some Christmas movies on her channel. I'm going to go over there, and she's going to come over my channel for some epileptic-friendly shows. So keep an eye out. Keep your notification bells on. And thank you. Remember, find a reason to smile today. Bye, everybody.